Well, day 14's in the bag. We're on 15 now. I'm leaving the above the bend, around the bend hostel. It was a great stay. Did a Nero and a Zero here. And now I'm ready to get back on the trail. And if things go well today, I might be leaving Georgia, headed to North Carolina. And here comes my ride. So it's time to go. Bye. Well, it's day 15. And here's the trail. I'm at Dick's Creek Gap, and I'm headed north. And if everything goes well today, I will see my second state. But like I said, I'm slow rolling up the AT right now, and having a good day. Had a good Zero yesterday, other than not getting my package from the U.S. Postal Service. I'm going to be without my meds for a week or so. Hopefully nothing major happens, and hopefully living this healthy style. I won't notice the difference. So we'll talk to y'all later, and maybe I will do a shot when we get to the top of the first hill. Take care. On the trail again. Well, day 15 going well. Probably on the top of my third summit since I've started today. Maybe hill, I don't know if you want to call them summits, but I had to make a readjustment to my pack, but get my Jolly Ranchers out and keep rolling. So up here, beautiful northern part of Georgia that we'll be leaving soon. I think I'm about 3 or 4 miles from the North Carolina border. But beautiful day, a little cool, but I've gotten to where I like to walk in the cool. I'm taking advantage of it because I know when spring and summer gets here, I'm going to hate walking in that heat. So all is good, and loving life. And thanks for everybody following and supporting me along the trail. And please pray for my package, that hopefully maybe the USPS can find its way to my next stop before I get there. But I'm not holding high hopes. So maybe some of my postal friends that work can find a way to push it along. So y'all take care, and I'll check in a little bit later. Have a great day. Well, I am about 3 miles from the North Carolina border. I'm still pushing. I'm going to try and find a spot where I can take this sweater off. I hate to just pick some random spot to drop my pack and take my sweater off, but still moving, and I'm going to turn the camera around and film a little bit of the trail. Beautiful trail along here. Well, it says Dix Creek Gap 5.6 miles. I've come 5.6 miles this morning. So I'm about halfway to where I need to try to get to today. We'll see. I don't know. We'll take one step at a time and see if I get there. I'm going to get down here to the bottom of this hill and take my sweater off and get me a little snack for lunch and then get moving again. All right? But Dix Creek Gap behind us, another hill behind us, one step closer to Maine. Well, I'm at Blue Ridge Gap, and according to this beautiful sign by the Forest Service, it says I've come 73.3 miles. But guess what? I got 2,125.1 miles to go to Katahdin. Sounds like a truck coming up. There's a beautiful map. Okay, 1 down, 13 to go. All right. 1 down, 13 to go. A couple other through hikers getting here at the same time. Say hello, how are you? Sorry if you didn't want to be filmed.
That's fine.
I'm gonna go find me a camping spot. I'm not going to the shelter. It's 3 miles. They say it's all slog uphill, and I don't have it in me today. So I'm gonna go find me a camping spot. Check out later. Well, day 16. I'm in North Carolina, and I'm headed north, and I'm leaving my campsite. A little cold last night, but sure, as soon as I get walking, I'll warm up. Alrighty, y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Well, I'm at Bly Gap, and this tree behind me, they say is one of the most famous trees on the AT. I guess the shape and just the location right here at the North Carolina border. But today it is freaking cold. My hands are cold holding this camera, so I am gonna put my camera away, and you have now seen the famous Bly Gap tree, and DogTag's going to get back on the trail. Try to keep moving. They say I've got a tough 3 miles ahead of me. So I'm going to take it nice and slow, and we'll get there today. All right, talk to y'all later. Well, they didn't lie on this one. A lot of times when they tell me, oh, it's not that bad, it's, you know, climb, they said it was a tough climb. North Carolina, thank you for the welcome, because the first climb out of Bly Gap, which is where the North Carolina-Georgia border is a kick in the teeth. And the wind is blowing, it's cold, so I found a spot out of the wind so I could try to warm my hands up and take a fruit snack break and just take it slow and easy. But those of you behind me that might be following me, be ready for that kick in the teeth when you get to Bly Gap, because it is almost, it feels like a vertical climb, but it is definitely steep. Probably one of the steepest climbs I've had yet on the trail. So, but still living life, still one step closer to Maine. Well, I was finally able to get my hands warm. I stopped and took my gloves off and put them under my armpits and warmed them all up. But I just got to show you. I don't know what North Carolina masochists thought this was a cool idea. But they didn't lie to me when they said this is a tough section, but I'm going to show you this. Now, I don't know if that really entails what I just came up. But, you know, we come up here, make a turn, and then you keep climbing. And I mean, it's a nice steady climb. So I'm able to do maybe about 20 yards, and then I have to stop and take a breather and move on. But hey, one more hill closer to Maine and one more step closer to Maine. So we'll see you all later. Well, the rocks of the AT have returned to North Carolina, and as you can see, yes, that's where the trail goes. So one step at a time, and I'll get to Maine. Look at this, it rickety rackety. Oops, gotta get my walking poles with me. Nice little stream here. Get water if you need it. As you can see, the clouds sure have moved in. So, like I said, it's probably time for me to expedite and get to my next stop for the day. And well, they say that this is the view. You get to look through a lot of trees, but you do get to see the valley. So I'm at the top. I got a little ways down, then I can stop at the shelter and decide what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. So I'm going to keep moving, and in case I decide to move further today, but I'm going to get to the shelter and eat some lunch. So we'll talk to you all soon. Love you. Bye. Well, day 17. I'm leaving Muskrat Creek Shelter. Stayed here last night. There are quite a few people, but they're calling for rain later today and tomorrow. So a lot of people were out early trying to get to other shelters or getting to where they can not have to walk or camp in the rain. So I don't know what my plan is. There's another shelter about 5.5 miles down the trail. I'm going to get there and then decide what I want to do when I get there. So all in all, it's pretty good. Can't complain. Well, I could, but I'm not going to complain because look where I'm at. So it is cold this morning again. So I have my windbreaker on, and I'll be wearing my gloves. And seems like the wind kicks up at night around here, and then as soon as it starts to warm up, then the wind goes away. But I don't know if the wind's gonna go away today because I'm not sure if it's gonna really warm up. So we'll see. All's good, and keep me in your prayers, and you all be safe, and love y'all. Well, here on day 16, I'm moving okay, and guess what I come across? Chunky Gal Trail. I think they need to find, or maybe I will find one that says Chunky Guy Trail, because that's the trail it should be named after. DogTag. Still moving, wind still blowing. As you can see behind me here, the clouds are setting in, so probably definitely going to get some rain today. So it depends on where I want to, if I want a tent camp or shelter camp. And the nice thing about shelter camping is that you can get up in the morning and you don't have to pack a wet gear. So we'll see. I think I've come about a mile so far this morning in about 40 minutes. So I'm making good time right now. But I'm sure the hills are ahead of me. So you know how it is. Got to go up one hill and down another to get to Maine. So you all take care, and I'll keep walking. Well, coming down the hill to Deep Gap. Got a little bit ways still left to go, but then I happened to notice this sign. It says North Carolina Wildlife Bear Management Area. Bear Management Area. I wonder if they're managing the bears, or are the bears managing them. So it's all good. I'm still moving, and we'll keep plugging along. Well, you know, I keep running into people that I think that are way ahead of me, but then look who I run into. And it's Tiny Glee is the female. Hello. And the male, it's Antonio, is that right? Antonio, but he doesn't have a trail name yet, but I tried to talk him into taking SLR as his trail name, because he's the only guy I've seen in a long time to carry a SLR camera, single lens reflex camera, with actual film in it. With actual film in it. He's got to have some purpose behind this because he's not using digital. But great to see them. They're getting ready to get off. I guess little Glee has got a knee issue, which seems to be pretty common, and dog tag's going to continue on the trail. Well, on the AT, and just had a great meeting with two great thru hikers, young people. But thought I'd stop and videotape as I walked across this bridge here. Starting to rain. Hopefully I can get to the shelter before it starts to rain too much harder. So keep me in your prayers. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Bye.
Oh, it's raining now. Nobody will hear it.
Well, good afternoon from the AT. It is, I believe, 3 o'clock. And look, this is the shelter. Everybody's already in bed except for me. I'm gonna go put my long johns on. But it is nasty weather outside, rainy. Temperature is chilly, and but other than that, you know, they're calling for 50-mile-an-hour winds tonight. That's why everybody has decided to stay in the shelters. Some other people showed up here when they saw the shelters occupied. They decided to push on, but I think they're going to find that the next shelter is full too. So we're feeling lucky, and it was a good thing to get off trail early. I got food on my face? I do. Okay, I'm clean now.
So can you hear the rain? It's been like that most of the night.
Day 17, March 5th. Leaving Standing Indian Shelter. Rough night last night. A lot of rain, a lot of high winds. Even in the shelter, we had rain blowing in on us. There were 6 of us here at the shelter. 4 are going back into town because their gear's all wet, and they just don't want to be cold another night. They're calling for cold temperatures tonight, but I'm gonna press on to the next shelter and just kind of keep taking one day at a time. And I think my gear's dry enough that if I can get there early enough, if it's a little damp, I can get it out and dry it even more. But we'll see. And so back on the trail again, headed north to Maine. Love y'all. Be safe. Well, I'm nearing the summit of Standing Indian Summit, and I'll be there shortly, but some really nice views here. Probably better when I get to the top, but I know it's going to be real windy when I get up there, so one step at a time, one summit at a time, one day at a time, and I'll get to Maine eventually. We'll get there. Love y'all. Isn't that beautiful? What an incredible view. A little cloudy today, but still get some really nice views from up here. Alright, let's see if we can push on to the top. Well, a top standing Indian summit and cloudy day, but get a little bit of a view off in the distance. But one more mountain down. One more mountain down. So headed down for a little while, and then of course we'll probably find another up. So it's all good, and enjoying my trip. This morning, several people decided to go into town because they were cold, wet, and tired because they didn't get a lot of sleep last night. So, DogTag decided to continue on. So I'm gonna keep moving. Y'all take care. Be safe. Another favorite, stream crossings. I don't know if you can see it. Hear the water running, beautiful, just worth stopping. And it's starting to sleet on me as we speak. So yeah, okay, time to move. So I'm at Coleman Gap, and the last couple miles has been pretty slick, but the next mile or so is uphill. So uphill and then a short downhill to the shelter. So all good, and headed to where I'm gonna stay for the night. So we'll see when we get there. Bye. Well, good evening on the night of day 16, I think. I hope I'm right. Lost track of the days. I'll have to figure it out. I'm tenting tonight. I got to the shelter, but there's a family of 6. They call them the 6-pack. Them, and then there was one. There's one female hiker there. So the shelter is set up for 8, but the 7 that they had in there was a tight squeeze, so I decided to go ahead and set up my tent. And the pinging that you're hearing is the rain outside, and there's a chance that that rain may turn to snow later, because the temperature is supposed to be below freezing. So we'll see. You know, rough day for me. I took my fall earlier, broke my pole, and so I had to find me a replacement pole made out of wood, and so been walking with that. My knee was bothering me earlier, but right after I fell, I had to go downhill for probably about 1.5 miles. And when your knee's bothering you, going downhill makes it even worse. So but then once I got down off the mountain, it kind of leveled out for a while, and I was able to stretch my legs out when I was walking, and got some nice video of some streams and stuff. And but you know, it's 5 o'clock here, and you know, I know a lot of people say, you're going to bed already at 5 o'clock? Well, you don't have nothing else to do out here when it's raining. Last night, at least, we were able to have a fire that we had where we were at. I just didn't feel like making a fire in the rain tonight. So you know, I'm getting my bed all set up, and I'm gonna call it a night. They say it's supposed to be cold all day tomorrow, so I'm not going to be highly motivated to get up in the morning, but I need to, because I think my next stop tomorrow is about a 7-8 mile hike. That's what I did today, and so we'll see. You know, taking one day at a time. You know, if I might have one more night out here, and then Friday I think I'm going into town. So we'll see, and depending on how my knee is feeling, I might take another 0. We'll see. But they were calling for cold weather and rain on Saturday and Sunday anyway, so we'll see. Maybe I'll take a couple days off, just to take a couple days off and let my knee rest. So the big test will be in the morning after I get up, you know, and see how my knee is feeling when I wake up in the morning. Because when I fell, what I ended up doing is I was coming down a hill, and we had a lot of rain last night, and the leaves were on top of the ground, and when I stepped on the leaves, there was mud underneath it, and just went sliding, and my leg got up underneath me, and of course the pole, my walking pole, got underneath me too, and it snapped it right in half. So when I get into town, I got to find a supplier, and an outdoor supplier, and see if I can find a new pair of poles. We'll see. You know, take one day at a time, and you know, the family and the lady that were at the the shelter up there, they're all worried about me, but I think I'll be actually warmer in my tent than I will in one of those open shelters, because, you know, last night it was brutal. I mean, we had 50, 60 mile an hour winds blowing on the top of that mountain, and half of the night the rain was blowing in up underneath the shelter, the canopy of the shelter, and it was right into my face. And you know, fortunately I had my SOL bivvy, and it kind of kept me, for the most part, it kept me dry, and I was warm all night. You know, it's just one of those things that you hate getting up in the morning, you know, and have to, you know, this morning it wasn't as cold as it's supposed to be tomorrow morning. So tomorrow it'll be really tough. And then I've got to pack everything up inside my tent because it'll have been raining, and who knows, it may snow tonight. And if it snows tonight, then I'll wake up and have snow on my tent. And so we'll go from there. We'll take one day at a time. All right. Y'all have a good day, and say some prayers for me. I could use them, and, you know, use a couple days off as well. So we'll see. Take one day at a time. Bye.